Sue from the Mountain Canary Company. Ed's going to show you how to make a meal when you're in the backcountry. Go ahead.
Hi folks, this is another meal in the backcountry. With this, how I got thinking about this when I was out feeding, and it was raining like the dickens. And I thought, you know, I've taken care of myself out here many a day, and many a night, and many a day, and many a night in this darn climate. So I thought, you know, you can't really cook a really cool meal. You can't go in and bake things. You can't, unless you've got cover, if you've built cover. Well, that's well and good if you've got it. You don't always have it. Hunters find the problem when they're back in there going in lightweight. Everybody has that kind of a problem. So let's talk about how you can crank a meal out quickly and reasonably tasty with some substance to it. I'm going to call this my clam surprise. And that's going to be thanks to Bumblebee Tuna, and they're not sponsoring me. Nope, they're not sponsoring me. Okay, now, so this is a, what kind size can? This is a, it's a 6.5 ounce can. Okay, now, one of the dehydrations, your dehydrated food is your best friend. Expensive as heck though, unless you start to thinking a little ahead outside the box. These Knorr meals are quite reasonable. They're like $1 a pack at Walmart. You go online and find on the Walmart site, you can find 6, 8 to a box for, oh, I don't know, 95 cents or less. Okay, these work out really good. They're a good side dish. All you need to do is boil. So if you figure on adding something of substance to it. In this case, I'm going to do a little clam thing. And they come in all different flavors, all different types of rice or whatever. And I've got coming, I've ordered several, but I've got coming I want to show you guys. I'm going to do a beef stroganoff, because I like the beef stroganoff in the hiker food. But geez Louise, you know, some of that stuff's like $7 or $8 a pouch. Well, these are $1, and this is a little over $2 for a can of roast beef, Walmart brand roast beef. And I've opened them, I've eaten several of these, and you know, they're not bad, considering where I'm taking them and what I'm asking them to do. So later we're going to be doing a beef stroganoff. There's all kinds of stuff you can add to it. You can add tuna. They make pouched chicken. They make pouched pork. Geez, there's all kinds of things put in these safe to carry pouches. Okay, then then the other thing is, I own some dehydrators, and what I did here a while back was, because this is a broccoli meal and I like broccoli, we bought a big bag of broccoli flowers, and we dehydrated them. And that big bag ended up with 5 of these little bags. This is, you know, and there's the same amount of real food value still here. So what I've decided to do is take and add some of the broccoli to this. In this case, I'm just going to take and break them up and pull the stems, because I'm not soaking these long enough. What I did is I drained the clams into a container. Now, I'm going to cheat. I know. I'm going to hear from a special 1 or 2 friends of mine. These are not out there cooking in the rain yet. Okay, well, you go cook in the rain. I don't have to anymore. So what I'm doing here is just adding breaking this broccoli the flowers apart, trying to get as many of the stems out as I can, because I don't think they'll rehydrate. If you have time at camp, sitting around, throw these in a couple cups of water, warm water preferably, and let them rehydrate. So that ought to be enough for flavor in here. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a pouches. So another thing too is, you could add stuff like, get a big bag of spinach. That stuff goes away to nothing, but when you throw it back in, it'll rehydrate real quickly. So you can add different flavors and different types of foods to your fare. Mind you, you're sitting on a stump. Got your stove going. you've got your slicker up around your head. And I've actually had a lantern stuck between my legs with my slicker over it, trying to get the warmth from the lantern. So you know, whatever you make out there is going to be pretty special. So let's do. There's enough here. I'll probably have enough in here, probably for 2 people, or one really hungry guy. So I usually have a billy, which is a big pot in my stove assembly, and that will do quite a bit of water. Or this is small enough. Well, I have 2¼ cups. It's still going to be small enough of water that I can use one of my smaller ones. So there's lots of options you can use there. I'm just going to open this critter up. I think I'm going to open it up. Lift and seal it well. I'm going to add it. And goodness, this batch has got chicken in it. A little dehydrated piece of chicken. Let's see if I got a spoon here. Excuse me, just first. Yeah, I got a huge spoon. I'm going to have to use it because I don't want to walk away. I'm going to stir this all up. I'm going to add my clams to it. So when you're picking out these, ask yourself what flavors would go with what I'm adding to it. So wonder that out. So I'm going to take a break here, and I'm going to cheat. And I'm going to stick it in the microwave. So if Sue will cut for a second, we'll be back. Well, it looks like it's ready, folks. Make sure when you're doing any of these, you read the package carefully, so you get the timing just right on those. Because this was a microwave and it's a different time frame than on other ones. So you can see just pretty much the volume of food that is in here from one of these packs. That's a lot of chow. I've thrown 1 can of clams in there. You could, one patch of a lot of different things will go in there. And that's a lot of food. That's even probably enough food for 2 people. Let me ladle up some of this. This is a rice meal. Now I've added broccoli to it, which looks like it rehydrated nicely. I've got, this is a rice dish, and a can of clams. Okay, let's talk a little more about this business, real quick. Like, that's not the only one out there. There's some, these are good meals too. They're quite a bit more expensive. They're considerably more expensive. This is really a good meal. Really good, and that gives you 8 cups of finished product. Now that's a lot, but a lot of these require you bring extra stuff into them too, like chicken or beef, or like the chili. This is excellent chili. But a couple things I want to tell you now. The chicken business, you go to the store and you buy several chicken breasts. You buy a pack of these chicken breasts, okay? What I do I bring them in and I trim them up a little bit. There's not a lot to do, but you trim them up a little bit. And then I treat them just like bacon. I go in and get a cure just like bacon. And I cure a sugar, salt, bacon cure. Put them in a container, put them in the refrigerator for a couple days, pull them out, rinse them off. I stick them in a smokehouse. And I smoke them. Then I package them up and freeze them. Now, or I can take them in and put them in the dehydrator. Cut them up in little pieces, put them in the dehydrator, shred them, put them in the dehydrator, so they rehydrate better. There's so many different things you can do to come up with a really tasty meal. One of the things I want to warn you about in the backcountry is watch the foods you're eating. If you think, ask around amongst your crew if they have any allergies. Find out if there's any food allergies. Some people can't handle nuts. There could be some nuts in one of these, or one that's made with nuts. Especially if you're doing any baking of muffins or so forth. Clams have a problem with food allergies. We get a story about that. I owned a shellfish company for many years, and I had all the clams and oysters I wanted to eat. My daughter grew up eating big grown men under the table clams and oysters. And one day a few years back, she called me up and said, I can't eat that anymore. Why? She said, I'm deathly allergic. I became so allergic. She can't even cook them when the steam gets on her. She breaks out. So be aware, there are some foods you're taking with you. And ask your crew or your gang, when you're hunting or camping with folks, ask around ahead of time when you're putting the menu together, are there any allergies? So that you can avoid it, because that's not a place to have an anaphylactic issue. Okay, one other real quick thing is, that's not a complete meal. I've shown you these little guys before. They're applesauce. You can get them all kinds of different flavors of applesauce. They seem to round a meal out really nice. You can carry in some soda crackers to go along with this. You are going to get plenty of carbs though from this rice or from the noodles, whatever's in these pouches. So remember, when you're sitting there, rain coming at you sideways, you can be a real hero if you can crank out a meal that's hot and tasty in those conditions. Well, geez, Ed, I brought in, that's not what I had, that's not my menu. Tonight is steak and potatoes and such. Well, the weather and conditions may not give you the chance to do that. So my suggestion is, be prepared to have some of this lightweight stuff thrown in, just in case Mother Nature or conditions give you a field change. This doesn't take up any weight, any space at all. You just throw it in, throw a couple extra items in and go with it. You can take it out, take it home and eat it, but it's not going to hurt a thing. But think a little ahead of time. Could there be an unprogrammed field change? Well, folks, there's my meal here tonight with you. For thinking about sitting in the middle of the rain. This time I'm sitting in the middle of the rain. I'm dry, but I'm thinking about. I thought about you all out there in the barn. I thought, I've just got a can of clams in there. I got this package in there. I'm going to throw this together and see what it looks like, and tell the folks about it, and give them a chance to experiment. Experiment at home. It's not a big cost. Okay, thanks for coming by, folks. I really enjoy spending the time with you. All this, what we're doing here is all about getting you out there. So, ride as often as you can, but please, 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 ride safely.